Hello, Jeff Cowan here. Thank you for watching and listening. Well, here we are back with our 6th installment for my new series of Hump Day messages that was filmed earlier this year at the best training day ever. Now, like last week, we're going to be talking about what it takes to be a service retailer, and as you noticed in last week's message, we were beginning to talk about product displays. I'm going to carry on with that message today and show you exactly how to sell from a display, giving you the 8 important steps, and then I'm going to role play it for you. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with how product displays work and the importance of those, we do have pictures of bad ones and good ones that you could contact us. We'd be more than happy to share those with you anytime you like. As a matter of fact, if you want to call and set up a webinar, I'd be more than happy to walk you through a webinar that includes not only the steps we're going to discuss, but all the pictures, good and bad, and what makes a good and a bad product display. Now, the reason I'm excited about this week's message is because it seems like nonstop I get calls from dealers and fixed operations directors and service managers, and they always ask me about the newest and greatest products like iPods and iPads on the service drive. Do you need them? New software programs, and even questions about setting up product displays. And I've even had people call me and say, look, we took your advice and set up the displays, but they didn't really seem to impact the business. So what's missing with all these new tools? Well, what's typically missing with any of those tools, whether it's an iPod or an iPad or it's a new software program or a new display, is this. If your people don't know how to use them and have never been trained to effectively use them, they're meaningless. So with this message, I'm going to show them how to do just that. In this message, you're also at one point in time going to hear me discuss a QR code that can be found in one of our pocket guides. That QR code, here's what it is. If you have one of our pocket guides, if you go to page 56, you'll find the code. If you scan it with your telephone, what it will do is it will show you about a 20-minute video on what a good display is and what a bad display is, what the 8 steps are, and then you will see me role play it with an actual product display. Now, that video isn't quite up yet, but it will be on and be accessible from that QR code by August 1st of this year. So keep your eye on that. And if you're wondering about the pocket guide I'm talking about, if you don't have one, give us a call and we'll tell you how to get one of those very valuable pocket guides. As a matter of fact, it happens to be one of our most popular products. Another thing you're going to hear me mention on this recording this week is you're going to me talk about our general manager here at Pro Talk being pregnant. Well, I've got some great news. It wasn't just 2 weeks ago that she finally delivered that baby. It was 9 pounds. She had it by C-section, 22 inches long. And I got to tell you, man, it is a big baby, but it is a beautiful baby. So with that, we want to say congratulations to our general manager here at Pro Talk, Stephanie Haldall. Anybody that wants to send their congratulations, just simply send her an email at stephanie@jcowensprotalk, and maybe she'll even send you a picture back of the baby. It's a cute, cute baby. So with that, let's get on with this week's message. Gather your people around, make sure they got something to write with and something to write on, make sure they take great notes, and then practice what I'm talking about here because it will make you money immediately, assuming that you have the displays. So with that, good luck, and I'll see you next week.
It didn't increase our sales. Well, did you teach your people how to use it? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about next. The art of selling from displays. Take this back, teach it to your people. Okay, it's real simple. Okay, number 1, you must know your product. Here's why. Number 2, face the customer, not the product. When I'm making a presentation, I rarely look at the product. I know what the product is. I don't need to see it. 3, place your body at a 45-degree angle to the customer and the product. So if this is my tire wall right here, and my customer's standing right there facing it, I'm at a 45-degree angle. Now, you may be thinking, well, this guy's nuts. Why would that make any difference? Here's why. I'm not looking at the tire because I know what the tire is. I've memorized it. I'm an expert. I'm looking at them. I'm looking at their eyes. I'm looking at their body language. And I will be able to tell you before I get halfway through my presentation on best, which is where I start, whether or not they're buying a tire. And by the time I finish that presentation on best, I'll tell you which one they're buying because I'll know from reading their body language and their facial expressions. I'll know if it's the time right there to talk about rims and the other stuff or not. Okay, but see, service advisors can't do this if you don't teach them how. Always start with best and give a full presentation on it. Number 5, only if the customer objects do you go to good. Now, I'm going to role play this for you here in a second so you can see it. And then also I want you to know this. This will happen in about 3 weeks. Am I safe saying that? Probably 3 weeks. Let's say 4, so I'm getting a look. 4 weeks, okay? There's a little pocket guide there. You guys have those? Okay? If you go to the back, what I'm showing you right here is in there, and there's a QR code. And in 4 weeks, your service advisors can scan that QR code, and they can see me teaching this, and they can see me role-playing this so they can understand what it is. All right, so I want you to know that's one of the reasons that's there. I'll come back to that in a minute. Number 6, after presenting good, do not stop, but instead move right on to better. And then number 7, end your presentation by restating good and moving up to best. This is easy stuff if they know how to do it. And here's what I find out with service advisors. They want to do it. They want to make the money. As a matter of fact, I'll even say it this, I think this is the best way to say it. I've never met a service advisor that didn't want to get CSI. I've never met a service advisor that didn't want to get you retention. And I've never met a service advisor that didn't want to get you more sales. But I've met thousands that didn't know how. Only thing stopping them. Okay? And here's what's crazy is we'll spend hours with the salespeople having sales meetings every day. Not to get ahead of myself, but let me ask you, when's the last time you had a real sales meeting with your service advisors? Not a meeting about who has to put out the toilet paper and who has to make coffee and why you're late, but a real sales meeting. Number 8, you close the sale by asking the customer to decide. So what's this look like? Now, just like it says there at the bottom, I forgot that. You always want to sell the customer the best. That's a given. Who wouldn't? That's where the gross profit is. I get that. But even if they buy good, they're still buying from you. Okay? So, what's this look like when you do it? Now, the way these screens are placed, this will make a little difference. So I'm going to ask you to use your imagination. Okay? Use your imagination. By the way, you want to hear some more good news? Our general manager over there, Stephanie, just found out that she is having a child soon. We're excited about that. She was concerned. She said, having a baby, you know, how's this going to work at work? And I said, we'll build a playpen right there. Maybe we won't. Okay, so here's the thing. I want you to use your imagination. This is a tire display. Best tires right here. Good ones, better ones right here. Goods down here, okay? So here's what I just showed you looks like. Mr. Customer, now we've just had the opportunity to walk around your vehicle and do a quick visual inspection. We both discovered that it's probably time you get, or it is time that you get some new tires on the car. So that being the case, I'd like to show you what we have here and what we'd recommend. What I'd recommend is right here, it's our best tire. We considered our best tire because it was the one selected by the manufacturer specifically for this vehicle. We know how it's going to last, how it's going to perform, and I like how it's warranted. I have that tire in stock. I can get it put on for you today. It's $2.99 a tire, and with your approval, I'll tell the technician you want to do that, and we'll move right ahead on that during your visit today. Okay? Now, just like I said a few minutes ago, if they say, yeah, that makes sense to me, shut up. Great, Mr. Customer, I think that's smart. Come over here. We'll get that all typed up for you, and we'll start the work. But if they do like 7 out of 10, 70% of the time, the customers will say this, well, wait a minute. Why would I want to give you $300 a tire when I pass 4 places on the way in that have tires all day long for $99 a tire? I mean, that seems kind of silly to me, so why would I want to give you that much money? Well, Mr. Customer, you may not want to. I mean, I know what you're talking about. I know the tires that you've seen on the way in, and they're good tires. As a matter of fact, we know they're good tires because we have them right here. We consider them good tires because they do this, 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 and this, and they're warranted for this long. And just like our competitors, they're $99 a tire. I have them in stock, and I can get those put on your vehicle today while you're here. But before you decide to go with that, you might want to take a look at one that's a little bit better because not only does it do all of those things, but it also does this, this, and this, and is warranted for a year longer. And we have those, they are $199 a piece. We have those in stock and can get those put on your vehicle today. So, Mr. Customer, now that you've seen our entire lineup for your vehicle, you tell me which one you'd like us to get on your vehicle today. The one that's $99, that's a good tires like everybody has, the one that's a better tire at $199, or the one that was originally designed by your manufacturer and selected for this particular vehicle at $299. Mr. Customer, it's your vehicle, therefore your decision. You tell me which one you want us to get on there, and we'll get them put on. Now, as simple as that sounds, that's what sells hundreds of tires, thousands of tires. That's what sells rims. That's what sells brakes. That's what sells alignments. That's what sells a balance. That's what sells service. But you can't do it if you don't have the tools, and you can't do it if nobody's taken the time and stood with them in a meeting and shown them how to do it, and then role-played with them, and then role-played with them, and then role-played with them, and then role-played with them. So when they step in front of your customer, they can do it just like that and never look at the tire. That's what's missing. This is what your new customer wants. This is what they're used to. Go visit an Apple store. Go visit some of these high-end retailers. Go visit Nordstrom's, much overused analogy or comparison, but go see how they do it. This is what people respond to, and it's what we do not have. Less than 10% of the dealerships that we visit on a regular basis not only not have these, but of the 10% that do, only about 10% of them actually know how to use it. The ones that do, they blow it out of the water. Blow it out of the water.